Those are the sounds of wild birds. Hello there. This is I Go Travel with Don Barnett, and we are in Coaldale, Alberta, just out of the city of Lethbridge, just along the Crow's Nest Highway. And they have a Birds of Prey rehab center here. In fact, it's the largest Birds of Prey rehab center in the country. And we're ready to walk in through the doors and see what's here. They do wonderful work. All of these wildlife rehab places. They're just terrific kinds of places. And if you can come by and support them, whether it's this one or 100 others across the country, you are helping wildlife. And believe me, these days, with this expanding human population that we're all part of, the wildlife needs all the help it can get. So, hey, let's go on inside. Come along. All cages where the birds were kept had signs about the characteristics and habits of the birds. For example, the plaque about the snowy owl said that this bird was a traveler through southern Alberta, flying to and from the Arctic tundra way up north. In summer, these birds nest on the flat open tundra, hunting ptarmigan and lemmings, eating as many as 1,600 lemmings a year. A lemming, by the way, is a small rodent that feeds off the grass of the northern tundra. The snowy owl's feet are covered with feathers that provide insulation against the cold temperatures of the Arctic. And on the way to the Arctic, or coming back from the Arctic, this bird got injured. This guy in the top left in this picture is a great gray owl, small body and mostly feathers. They hang out in the forests of the foothills and mountains. And this owl, type of owl, is the longest or tallest of all owls. There were 2 or 3 amphitheater areas where you could sit and listen to workers tell about some of the birds. This attendant told us about the great horned owl and how long they lived.
12 to 15 years in the wild, but here we can actually double or triple their lifespan. And the reason they look like tree bark is because in the wild they'll actually stalk their prey, so they'll just kind of perch until they see their prey. And so it's a nice way to blend in and be all camouflaged. And with hunting, they have these great big feet. And so they'll go and they'll just kind of wait until they see their prey, and then they'll go and swoop and they'll kind of grab them, usually by their spine in a way, and they'll just break it because they have a really strong grip strength, about 500 psi. Yeah, pretty strong. So she could break my hand right now if she wanted to, but luckily for me, that it hasn't been working out. And with hunting, does anyone think they know what his favorite food might be? A rat. Not mice. They would eat mice. It's not their favorite. Rat. Not a rat. No, it's kind of a stinkier kind of animal. Skunk. Yeah, skunk. So what they'll do is they kind of found out that they have a very bad sense of smell. And so when they get their skunks, they'll kind of take it, fly back to their nest, and they'll take the stink sack and they'll actually spray it on their young. And so what that does is that when predators are coming near, they'll just kind of fly away because they don't want to deal with that smell. I mean, would you guys want to go near a skunk? No. So that's how they kind of scare off their predators from their young. And one time, we did have someone holding one of our great horned owls, and they had very strong Axe body spray on. And they had the owls kind of just jumping off their hand. So according to great horned owls, Axe body spray smells way worse than skunk. And as you're looking at his feet here, can you tell me the difference between his feet and our burrowing?
They're covered in, and like feathers.
Yeah. So they have some fluffy feet. And we like to say he has his snow pants on for winter, and that's because he is not a migratory bird. He will stay here all winter long. And since they're so common around this area, they're actually our provincial bird. And we do have wild gray horned owls in our trees.
Another kind of owl was in this cage, and it was a short-eared owl. They nest on flat grounds of farmers' fields, making them at risk of farm equipment and also easily seen by predators like other birds and coyotes. This is a rusty red hawk, the largest kind of North American hawk. They like to eat gophers and squirrels. A local farmer got interested in helping injured birds entirely without government foundation or donation. They built this bird of prey recovery center. They dug low areas to make ponds, planted trees and flowers, built walkways, bridges, and cages to contain the injured birds. It is a very enjoyable experience to just walk around with the wildlife and just enjoy the outdoors. Other birds are attracted, like these white ducks, who love to be fed treats by visitors. These Canada geese strolled up the path toward us. Just watch this guy who spotted the ring on my wife's finger and thought it might be something tasty to nibble on. That peck on her finger surprised her.
Oh.
Sometimes very young birds are dropped off at the center, and they need care for a while before they can figure out the kind of bird it is. The attendants had all kind of interesting information about the birds. Just listen to what this person said.
This is full grown. This is as big as she will get. Even though she's just one, she's already maxed out. So, their name does give it away on where they live. They like to live in burrows, but typically they won't actually make their own burrows. What they'll do is they'll take over a type of rodent burrow.
And that rodent is a gopher. But they are very adaptable and will make homes in pails, pipes, and tubes. Their favorite food is grasshoppers.
And one of the ways that they will scare off predators is that they're really good with impressions. And so what they'll do is they'll mimic the sound of a rattlesnake's rattle. And so then when they're in their burrow making that sound, the predators kind of coming near will be scared off by it. Now, as you see, she doesn't really have a lot of feathers on her feet, and that is because she is a migratory bird. Does anyone think they know where she might migrate to?
Mexico.
Yeah, it is Mexico. So what she'll do is she will fly, and with a mix of running all the way to Mexico, just because flying takes up a lot of energy, so she will typically prefer to run. She'll go all the way down to Mexico, and they'll actually make their burrows down there because we have a lot of disturbances here. And so, one of the reasons they are endangered is that they won't come back from Mexico. You would see that she has very long legs. Now, it's not for modeling exactly. What it's used for is that one of her ways of hunting, she'll run at very fast speeds. And another way that she will hunt is she will leave a carcass right outside of her burrow. And so then bugs will come and eat away at them. And so then the dinner is right at the door for her.
This is a Swainson's hawk, one of the longest migrating birds in the world.
Do all the birds here have names?
Most of them, yes. Yeah, so Reggie here can actually dive up to 60 kilometers per hour. And the way he hunts is he actually hits his spring out of the air and then finishes the blow at the end.
Once they wind up in migration, they will fly up to 200 kilometers per hour back to Argentina in South America where they winter. And that is a 20,000 kilometer round trip each year. I am Canadian. I'm bilingual. I speak English and Raven. That's me. Give him time. He'll talk back. The Alberta Power Company has supported bird safety. Birds like to sit on high poles, but they don't get shocked because their feet do not touch the ground when they light on poles or power lines. Electricity always looks for a path to the ground, so birds do not get shocked. In the danger area, those flaps have been attached to lines, and with cross arms, they've been increased from 2.1 meters wide to 2.7 meters wide, making it harder for big birds to get shocked. Also, metal rods like this one are bent and installed to discourage birds from sitting on poles. Here comes the big boy to fly, the bald eagle. One time almost exterminated with DDT, the chemical. But he's on the perch and looking, and he'll fly to another perch. He's getting ready to go. There he goes. Down to the other perch, to the other attendant. And he'll fly back on signal, and here he comes. Back to home base. These birds are motivated by food, and they don't fly away. They'll fly up in the trees for a while, but they'll always come home because that's where dinner is at. Birds are capable of recognizing you. If a worker does not wear her cap, for example, the eagles will not recognize her and will not fly to her. After the demonstration, we had a chance to water down the birds, and they love that cool water and spread their wings to get more air. Here's a red-tailed hawk.
The red tail is about 2 to 3 or 4 years old. The delta here is fully matured. You can also see the stripes on her tail. In the wild, these guys can live up to about 10 to 12 years, I think. Now these guys have insane eyesight, so we can't see the piece of chicken down there, but Delta certainly can.
Archie, our turkey vulture, he decided he wanted to pop in for our owl talk here. Archie's around 10 years old, and in the wild they can get up to 15. These guys are a little bit different than our other residents here. I think they're a little bit more grosser, and that's because of the things they eat. Does anyone know what they eat? Dead things, yeah, they are Mother Nature's kind of garbage men. So they'll go around looking for all that tasty roadkill. And a way that they can eat all this roadkill without getting sick is they have a really strong stomach acid. I believe it is 100 times stronger than ours. So they can dissolve bone, they can dissolve all those diseases, viruses, all of that. Lovely stuff that would make us really sick, doesn't even faze them. These guys also will go down, they're more scavengers, they will never hunt. That's because they have these really weak feet. We tried doing a flight show with Archie. He did pretty well with all the flying aspects. It was the landing. So he would basically body slam into the glove and you would have to catch him because he has really weak feet. So I'm not too worried about his feet. I'm more worried about his beak. He has a really strong bite force, a little bit stronger than an eagle's. And that's because they have to tear all of that meat off of that flesh. And let's say they were munching on a little carcass on the side of the road, and a coyote decided they might be a good snack. Does anyone know what they might do for a defense?
Go.
Sorry? Vomit! Yes, they will vomit all over that coyote. One of our co-workers got vomited on. I can tell you it's not very pleasant from their experience. Very stinky, and it stings. Another really gross but fascinating they do is in the summertime, around when it's really, really hot, so maybe start of August to end of August. How do you guys like to stay cool in the summer?
Swim.
Yeah, those are all great options. Archie here does not know that, so he decides to poop on his feet to stay cool. So if you see his little, it kind of goes pink and then it turns kind of white, that's all poop.
You can get your photograph taken with some of the birds. And this place always has a little store where you can buy a number of souvenirs. It's a great positive experience, just walking through the places and seeing the wildlife. Okay, we're rolling on down the trail. This is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. If you want to see more videos, just do what it says here. Google my name, Don Barnett 5090. Click my name and then click the word playlists in the middle of the page and scroll down. Each playlist contains several travel videos. We'll see you down the trail.